There is a new corporate battle which is playing out. On one side is the top management at Religare, which is running things at the company. And on the opposite side is the single largest shareholder in the company, Religare, which is the Burman family, the Dabur Burman family. There is an open offer which is up in the air. And of course, there are allegations which are being traded by both sides, some of course very serious nature. Joining me right now is Mr. Mohit Burman, who's a member of the Burman family, who's also chairman of Dabur. Mr. Burman, great to have you with us here. Thank you for sitting down with CNBC-TV18. To your mind, sir, as I start, what is the state of play? What is the situation with Religare right now?
We're focusing on our open offer. We believe that everything is above board, and sooner than later all the regulators will give us the nod to proceed and close the acquisition.
But do you believe that this is now delayed and it perhaps will continue to get delayed, because this is now not just about the open offer, but there are other allegations about proprietary, etc. involved?
No, I don't believe so. We're waiting for a CCI approval, which we believe will come in a few weeks. After that, the RBI and RDA, and finally the SEBI. With some of these regulators we already work with, as I'm already in two insurance companies, Aviva and Universal Sompo. So I don't think we should have any problem getting the regulators.
So first off the block will be CCI.
Yes.
And then the other regulators will come into play. With SEBI, you already filed a draft application.
Yes.
I mean, in terms of intentions, have you heard back from them?
Just routine questions which we are answering on a normal basis. Nothing of any concern.
Nothing about these the allegations which have been.
No. Just it's all in reference with basically with our offer and the pricing, etc.
Do you believe that these allegations and everything else which is happening will impact approval from the regulators? Because after all, this is a financial services company.
No, see, I don't foresee any problem, because we're here. We're doing everything above board. I'm here to answer to any regulators. I'm here, to provide them with any information they need. And baseless allegations will continue, mudslinging will continue, but we're going ahead and doing our job.
And you filed with the RBI and IRDA as well, or?
I'm not sure on the status. My merchant bankers, JM Financial, will be able to answer those questions.
Okay. I got that. Let's just rewind the clock a little
Sure.
bit and go to the origins of this entire fight. When do you believe, because you've been long-term shareholders, long-time shareholders of Religare.
Yes.
The person who's running Religare, Ms. Saluja, she's been at the helm of affairs for a while.
Yeah.
And things were going well. When did things start going, south in that sense?
We've been shareholders of Religare before Dr. Saluja. We came in both the prefs in 2018 and 2021, and the last acquisition of the shares was done at I think June this year. But if you look at our history, we're associated with the company and helping the company in difficult times. And now to cast aspersions, they're saying we're not fit and proper. All the time when they required money, then we were leading the rounds, the investment rounds. So at that time, they felt we were all right. But now, after the open offer, which they accepted, which they put up a letter at the SEBI saying, in the stock exchange saying that they welcome us and they will work with us to the betterment of the company, suddenly they've changed their mind.
The board basically, just to go back, what caused the disruption, the rupture in that sense, in your opinion? As you said, I mean, you've been long-time shareholders and they were okay. Yeah. But something went wrong. So that's
everything. Everything was fine until the chairperson needed to be voted back in. So of course, at that time she accepted she accepted our offer and said that she will help us in getting all the permissions, as well as helping us navigate getting into the business and making us understand the business. As soon as we voted her back in, now she's using all that against us.
But to be clear, did you want her to continue, or did you want, when the open offer bid happened, did you want her to continue as the helm of affairs, or What was the offer given to her? What was the discussion?
No, as far as we're concerned, listen, we don't want to upset the management as well as the board. We are professional. All our businesses are run professionally. Family members only take seats on the board. And even in this case, all our discussions were centered around the fact that at the most, we may supplement the board with some more people, who can add value to the business, and as well as provide capital to each of the businesses to take it to the next level. There was no question about us replacing anyone.
No, but you said right now that, when she sort of understood that she perhaps will be voted out, and that's when she kind of...
I mean, if she assumes that, I don't know why, because as far as we were concerned, we wanted a smooth transition, and that's why we voted her back in.
But what was the offer specifically? That, I mean, the executive chairperson position would be held by...
No, there were no negotiations to the to how the business and what positions anyone would hold after the open offer.
But roughly, was there an indication? Because she would have gotten an indication from the conversation that you had. So they're just trying to understand. Did you offer her to continue on the board while...
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there was no discussion on any replacement. And as far as we were concerned, we were happy to have her continue on the board. Now, as a chairperson or just as a board member was something which wasn't discussed.
Do you also believe that sort of asking for 2 seats on the board, which is what I believe you did, that also was one of the reasons why this rupture happened?
Could be. I mean, we were always doing our association with this company from 2018. We were at many times promised a seat on the board, but it was never taken to its conclusion. We were only asked informally, but never any invitation or anything like that. So, but we didn't even press for it at that time. It's only when we reached 21.5%, we just felt it was the right time to ask for 2 seats on the board.
Why is that? Because the law allows you to ask for a board seat after 10%.
Yeah.
Then, of course, it's up to the board to decide, right?
Yeah.
No,
we just felt that after reaching 21%, the money that we had put into this business was quite substantial, and we felt that that was the right time to ask for 2 seats on the board.
And you're saying that when you asked for 2 seats on the board, she accepted it.
Well, she heard me out, and she said she would get back, but
because you said that there was, I mean, you were in a way welcomed. The proposal was welcomed, etc. Initially.
Yeah, and so we were told that they would revert with the request. However, there was no revert on that.
So, Mr. Burman, what are you doing now in terms of all these allegations? And we're not used to seeing the Burman family or Dabur as a company, sort of involved with all of this. But what are you doing now to defend your interests and your position in Religare?
No, we're continuing with getting the regulatory approvals. We're continuing on meeting the shareholders. We believe all the shareholders, are backing us, and we believe we made a fair offer for the open offer, and we believe that this will conclude sooner than later.
You've also sort of made serious allegations about, in a way, insider trading against Ms. Saluja. Would you like to talk about that?
No, I mean, all I can say is that it's not fair for me to judge whether it's insider trading or not. All I've made everyone privy to is that the meetings had happened, and I had told them that we had told them that the open offer was coming. After that, shares were sold, and sold at a price which they say is too low for or similar to the price that we've offered for the shares. And the first accusation was that we are offering too low, but then you go and sell your shares at about the same price. Then where is the question of my offer being too low?
No, but what you're saying is that selling shares is fine, but the point is, and of course what it implies is also fine, but what you are saying is that something was done which is wrong in law. I mean, it was done at a time when the window was closed in that sense.
Well, again, it's not for me to judge that, but all I can say is that there was a meeting, and they were told that there was an open offer taking place, after which shares were sold. Now it's for SEBI to investigate on whether that's right or wrong.
Mr. Burman, another thing which you're saying is that the compensation that Dr. Saluja receives is is too high and it is completely out of line with any corporate kind of compensation. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, well, again, it's probably not right for me to say what is high or not high, but if you look at her compensation for a company that has no operating income, for a company that has just come out of having its problems, the compensation structure looks a little bit not in tandem with that sort of company. I mean, first, not only is the amount of compensation I feel is very high, but the perks, the stock options that have been taken, the stock options that are taken as a non-executive capacity in care, all this comes to hundreds of crores. Now it's for the regulators to see if this is the norm, but not for me really to be able to be a judge on whether this is fair or not.
But CEO compensation, to be fair, I mean it's debatable, right? I mean there's a fair bit of criticism globally which happens around that. But again, I mean, is this a recent phenomenon? Issuing sort of ESOPs to oneself, and has the value of compensation ballooned recently, and that's why you're bringing this up, or
no, of course,
it's
I have. I mean, in a short space, I mean, she was brought into this company as an independent director. Within a short span of time, it went to a non-executive director, to an executive director, to an executive chairperson, and in the last 3 years, the compensation structure has ballooned. Not only that, where there have been stock options granted in subsidiary companies and have been denied by the regulator, it's all been maneuvered so that it doesn't have to go back to the regulator.
And you raised this before as well, or this is the first time that you're raising this? I mean, over the years?
No, this is the first time.
No, internally, I mean, in your communication as shareholders, etc. Over the years, have you raised this at all previously? No, this is the first time that you're raising it in any forum?
Yes.
Okay.